How does awakening affect our approach to challenges and setbacks? Well, initially, before we experience that fundamental shift in identity, challenges and setbacks seem to define who we are. Our mind is cluttered with problems, potential solutions, self-doubt around our ability to manage the circumstances and problems of life. This world of thought, of identification with thought, feels so heavy, feels so cumbersome. After awakening, we find, miraculously, that 95% of all of that mental activity, the challenges we constructed with our mind, and or the challenges we unnecessarily complicated with our mind, the need for solutions, the self-doubt that arises with all of this, all of that is illusory. What is fundamental to experience now is clarity, is release, is a deep trust in the experience of life itself. We move fluidly through the world. We feel deeply into the experiences of sound, sensation, consciousness. There's no problem, fundamentally. There's also no separation, fundamentally. The concern about who I am, the concerns about the nature of self and how it fits into the world are cleared out. With this shift comes a great amount of peace and equanimity for a time. Now, inevitably, that honeymoon period comes to an end. When I say comes to an end, I don't mean that the peace, the clarity, the fundamental knowing that that false identity was exactly that, a false identity, and the knowing that thoughts are essentially ghosts. This clarity, this insight doesn't go away. But what it does is it makes a lot of room for repressed emotional material, resistance to emotion, and beliefs that we didn't realize we had to all come to the surface. As they come to the surface, they move into and through consciousness. Or rather, the experience of identity within consciousness feels like it has to navigate these intense, sometimes surprising, gritty experiences. And for a time, it can feel like a flip-flopping or a struggle between the conscious self or manager or one that wants to be in control and this intense, gritty, zero-distance experience of being alive, as if one comes forward and then the other comes forward and back and forth for a time. What we realize at some point is that the identity that was remaining in consciousness, or the tendency to extrapolate an identity from consciousness and thought, it's an illusion. It's really not fundamentally there. And so it calms down more and more. So we're not so pulled into beliefs, whether conscious or unconscious. We're not so strongly inclined to run from our experiences. Indeed, we're inclined to move directly toward experiences, to move deeply into experiences, physical experiences, visceral experiences, emotional experiences. This movement, this investigation of the energetics of who and what we take ourselves to be and what is beyond all identity. This is the real work of awakening, of realization. And at first it feels like a work that you are consciously undertaking, making a choice on how to approach it. But over time, that really transitions to a place of spontaneity, spontaneous practice. Clarity is the basis for resolving flawed beliefs or identity-based beliefs. An underlying peace comes to the surface and becomes more and more the background and foreground of our experience. From here, there can still be challenges in life in the relative sense, but there's a deep peace and a knowing that nothing is at stake. The universe doesn't hang in the balance based on how you feel or whether you know what to do or not. There's something that's at rest all the time, and it's just okay. It's okay whether there's loss or grief, discomfort, grittiness, confusion, clarity, deep samadhi. Whatever's happening is perfectly okay, but nothing's pushed around by that. Nothing's pushed around by experience. It's as if when that which was resisting experience is dispelled, then all experience can be embraced. Every manner of experience, all qualities of experience. But there's nothing that's really believed in from the standpoint of an identity. So then we really know freedom, and we know freedom as our birthright. It's not a choice. It's the nature of experiencing itself. It's simple, always available, innocent. Life is innocent. Aliveness is innocent. Experiencing is innocent. It needs nothing. It requires nothing.